So hello, today we're going to follow the steam traction engine up to the Fete at Great Burstead Church, St Mary Magdalene. Okay, and off we go. We're going to go through Little Burstead. So it's a glorious day today. It's going to go up to about 29, 30 degrees. So this old track that we are following is actually an original Roman route, because there was a Roman fort here from the time of Emperor Claudius. Treat for people in Billericay. This is the only traction engine around here I'm aware of. take the shortcut through Frith Woods. Oh, I'm knackered now.
behind you. Yeah. In case she's looking for you. Oh, let's get out of the way of the picture.
We want the tricky one, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, blowing in. So what we have to start, we've got a unit for, I've still got one, but... Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. He had two, and the boys have got the roller, but the tractor was sold to a collection and it comes out, that's in a private collection. It did go for people. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a lot of...
Right, so this young gentleman who's is going to kindly answer a few questions on this lovely traction engine. So, if you could explain just a little bit about its age and some of the components, really.
Okay, so principally the engine's built on a boiler. The boiler comprising of the heating area, which is the firebox, which is in here. Then the boiler's got the water in, and in the boiler there's tubes. So the tubes go through the boiler, the heat and flames from the firebox go through the tubes. They then go into this end, which is called the smoke box.
Smoke box, yeah.
So the heat and the soot will then come out and it will go up the chimney.
Okay, yeah. Straightforward then.
Very straightforward. This is the engine part of it. This is the cylinder. This has got two cylinders, high pressure and low pressure. So steam will go in a high pressure first, then it's reused and it will go in the low pressure. Then it will come out into an exhaust pipe, which is here, and it will go into the smoke box, and there's a nozzle pointed upwards, so when the engine's working, the steam will get blown out the cylinder up into the chimney, create a vacuum which will make the fire burn brighter. So the harder you work the engine, the brighter the fire will burn, the more steam the engine will produce.
Okay, it's like a turbo, is it?
Like a turbo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh wow. So when you said you got a secondary thing, was that like a high-tech development?
It's just ready to make more economical use of the steam.
Oh, okay.
The steam's still got a lot of power in it once it's exhausted from the high pressure. So to put it for another cylinder, you can get a lot more energy, a lot more efficiency from using that steam again. Some of the big ships' engines had quadruple expansion, so the steam would go through 1, 2, 3, and finally a fourth engine. So you're making real good use of the steam.
Quite advanced.
Steam engines did become very advanced. As from the Stevenson's rocket, one of the early engines was very basic, but as time progressed, there was a lot of development in the steam engines, and by the time they finished with steam, especially on the railway, they were very, very advanced.
Okay. Okay, we're going to get a bit of an explanation on the driving sort of devices. I've got no idea what I'm talking about here.
On all the gubbins. Well, first of all, you've got the fire.
The firebox?
The fire goes in here in the firebox.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got water in the boiler, so we need to see how much water we've got. So this is called a gauge frame.
Yeah.
Now in here you can see the water level. So when the engine's working, when it's being used, the water level will go down. But we have to top the water up. So what we've got is two steam injectors, what basically use steam pressure to blow water into a boiler. So we've got a high pressure, which is that, and you've got a low pressure, which is that. Water controls are left and right, and you have to jiggle them a little bit to get them to work.
Okay.
Then once we've got a fire light in our boiler, or in our firebox, and we've got water in our boiler, we then raise steam. So here we've got a pressure gauge, which tells us how much steam we've got. This engine works at 180 pounds per square inch, and the safety valves lift at 180. So we've got a red mark.
So you're a little bit low at the moment.
We're a little bit low because we sat here. We don't need it on full pressure.
No,
we're not working.
Yeah.
So the safety valves, which basically let off excess steam so the boiler doesn't become over pressurised, they will lift at £180 per square inch. Every year they're checked for operation as part of the boiler inspection. As regards controls, we've got reversing lever here. This makes the engine go forwards or backwards. This is in the forwards position. The neutral position, if you put it here, the engine won't run either direction. You put it in a reverse position, the engine will run in reverse. So it actually changes the valve timing to give you a forward, neutral and reverse position. Quite advanced.
Quite advanced.
The regulator here, this is a rod what goes to the cylinder block, and that's a valve that opens and shuts, and that will enable you to feed through as much or as little steam you want into cylinders, what will then do the work. When the engine's parked up for a while, you get condensation in the cylinders, so you've got things called drain taps. These are the drain taps. You open these when you're standing, that'll let condensate. That'll let condensate run out. So we've got 2 cylinders, we've got 2 sets of drain taps.
So you're working quite hard all the time, monitoring all these.
Yeah, I mean it's very much you're the engine management. When you're on a steam engine, you don't just stand there and watch your world go by.
No.
You're a little bit of water, a little bit of coal, little squirt of oil here and there, just keeping the job going really. The oil system's a total loss oil system, so basically all the oil you use is used once and it gets flung out or dropped on the floor. So you've got oilers for the second shaft, oilers for the axle boxes, big end oilers. These are, you've got a wick inside it and that will draw oil through from a reservoir and feed it to the bearings. Again, it takes quite a bit of setting up really to set them up so you get the right amount of oil going through.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
You don't want it flinging out, but you want to make sure that you're getting a constant amount of oil go through. Then the steersman has got a really difficult job. He sits on this very uncomfortable seat and he twiddles that and makes it go left or right. Brakes, an important thing of an engine.
So would that be for the old fella, would it?
The old fella, the old fat fella, I don't know who that is.
The old fat fella.
That's it.
Okay. Sounds like a job for me, that.
The braking system, so a steam engine will work as a brake. You can pull the reverse lever into the neutral position with a regulator shut, or even pull it back into reverse position. That will make the engine act as an air compressor and that will slow it down.
Oh wow.
Here you've got a brake which is 2 brake shoes which go on either wheel. They've got linings on them, so they're very, very effective. They'll stop the engine. But the other thing this engine's got is a flywheel brake. So you've got a foot operated brake which will rub up against the flywheel.
Yeah.
It's an ideal thing for if you're at traffic lights or a junction, you want to hold the engine, stop it from moving. Once it's clear to go, just take your foot off and then off you go. So it's a really, really handy.
I'll come round and have a look at that.
Really handy little thing to have.
Look at that, how simple is that?
So
twice?
Yeah, once when it finished work and then once again in preservation. You can see all the pitting on reverse lever as well, and it was plenty, it wasn't that far from the sea, so it had.
Oh, so it's corrosive. Was it left out in the open?
Yeah, they were just left out.
Was it being used for?
It was used for haulage, it was used for road haulage.
For haulage,
yeah, really road making, it used to move.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's really nice coming up here to see the old steam, or the old traction engine at Burstead. Thank you very much.